tender and flavorful, these Swedish meatballs are a favorite in my house, with a creamy brown gravy that you'll want to drink right out of the pan. Who doesn't love a juicy, tender meatball and some delicious brown gravy? And that's what we're making for dinner tonight. Can't wait to get started with the actual meatballs themselves. First step is grating some onion. This is the key to my juicy, tender, delicious Swedish meatballs. The reason why I had a paper towel over is because I was crying before from all of the onions and I had the hubby grate them, but I just can't even be around them. And the second thing we're gonna add to our meatball mixture is some panko breadcrumbs. You can use regular breadcrumbs, but I actually find that the panko provides a better texture. And the classic thing to do in Swedish meatballs is to add some milk to your breadcrumbs, and that creates those really soft meatballs. It's the key to soft meatballs. An egg to bind everything together. And then Swedish meatballs would not be complete without some warm baking spices. Smells very delicious. Allspice and nutmeg. Just a little dash goes a long way. And some salt and pepper. Give a little mixeroo. I have the meats. I have some ground beef here and some ground pork. And I'm just gonna blend it into this egg and breadcrumb mixture. And you don't wanna overwork it. You just wanna mix it just until it's incorporated. Now that all of our flavors are combined, I have a 2 tablespoon scoop. And I'm just gonna add my meat mixture and then scooperoni. Just like that, it kind of semi-forms it. So I like to roll it a little better and place it on a baking sheet or a plate or whatever you want to put it on so that we can go over to the stove and sear them. I couldn't help myself and I already seared a batch of meatballs, as you can see here, but I'm gonna show you what I did. So what you're gonna do is large skillet over medium heat, and I'm just gonna add a tablespoon or so of butter to my skillet. And once that melts, then I'm going to add in my meatballs, and I'm just gonna kiss them on the outside, just so they're nice and golden brown. And they're also gonna collect those delicious brown bits in that pan. And that's gonna be the base of our gravy, our brown gravy. We're gonna add them to the pan and you're gonna let them sear for about 2 to 3 minutes per side for a total of 4 to 6 minutes. If you could smell this house, you'd want to eat my house. It's that good. We've kissed them on both sides, but they're not cooked through, and they're gonna finish cooking in that delicious gravy, which is the second step. Everyone meet brown bits. I love a good brown bit. And to it, we're going to this is going to be the base and the flavor for our delicious gravy. To it, over medium heat, we're gonna add in more butter. Yes, we just have to do it. You're gonna let it melt, and then to make the gravy, we need to add in a little bit of flour, and that's what's next. Flour in. We're just gonna use a whisk, and you're going to combine the flour and the butter, keep it moving around, and just toast the flour until it's nice and nutty and it smells really nice in here for about 2 minutes. Time to add in some beef broth. We're just gonna add in about half of the beef broth at a time. Give it a good whisk, make sure it's nice and combined, and then we're gonna add the rest of the broth in. Now that our broth is in, we gotta flavor the broth. We have some Worcestershire, and make fun of me for my pronunciation as usual. And just a little bit of Dijon mustard. add a little extra tang, creaminess, and I gotta figure out a way to get this out of this tiny bowl. Then I'm gonna turn my heat down to like medium-low heat now because we don't wanna scorch our cream. I like half and half in this because I don't like it so intensely rich and velvety, but you can absolutely do full cream if you want. And you wanna bring this to a very gentle simmer, especially if you're using half and half because you don't want it to curdle. So we're gonna bring it to a gentle simmer and let it simmer for just a couple of minutes. Our fabulous gravy has been simmering away for just a couple minutes to bring all the flavors together. And now I'm gonna turn the heat off and we're gonna add in all of our seasonings. So I have a little bit of nutmeg, just a tiny bit will go a long way. And of course we want some salt in there and some pepper. And this is the best part, sour cream. Not only is it gonna make it nice and velvety, but it's gonna add that signature tang of Swedish meatballs. And we're just going to use a whisk and just whisk that right into our sauce. Time to put everybody in the pool. Meatballs going in that sauce. We're gonna let them take a bath for 7 to 10 minutes. Just let them simmer away until they're completely cooked through. And we're gonna flip them halfway just to make sure that they're all coated in the sauce and just everything becomes one. See you soon. I have lots of pictures to take of this dish, and honestly, I can't wait until the end of pictures to try, so I'm doing it right now. Right here, right now. One of the single best meatballs I've ever had. Maybe the best. And that gravy, I'm gonna drink it. Check this out on tastefullygrace.com. You won't regret it. Let's make some Swedish meatballs.